stealth camped in town last night, so I can't talk too loud. And well, this is gonna be a day in the life in the city, and I have a few errands that I need to do. I need to upload a video. I tried last night, and the place that I was at, the internet wasn't working very great. My Starlink is in here with me because of installing the AC. I had to take it down, but I am gonna need to find a place where I can put the Starlink up and upload that video. We were getting a video on Monday, but that's how it is with van life. Let's get the day started. I watched some good old YouTube last night and had some dinner. The van isn't looking too bad this morning. It usually looks really bad. And I didn't clean up for you. It's just, I try to keep it cleaner these days. Just gonna put these in the sink. I was gonna say quietly, but that wasn't very quietly. So we can move. These are the socks that are only emergency because the other one got lost or ripped. First, I am gonna need to go to a park because I need to dump my #1 jugs. I should say a park where they have toilets. Guessing that was a given. That cool van. And it's a Ford. Toilets and a water spigot and trash and recycle. All in one, baby. I'll be right back. I don't think you need to see this part. Well, restrooms are not open yet. It's almost 7 o'clock. So I'm guessing they're opening them at 7 o'clock. But we'll have to wait because we're here. I'm just gonna toss out the recycling and fill up my water jug. Get the recycling, and this is just a jug that I use to wash dishes with. You're coming with me this time. Well, it's 7:10. The person from the city that's supposed to come and unlock these bathrooms, hopefully they're okay and they didn't party too hard last night. But I'm gonna go to the gym and take a shower. I see a white truck. Let's see, let's find out, let's see. So I see that white truck there, and that's usually what they have. Nope, that was just another person trying to use the restroom. Something happened. Well, gym time. Gym is 7 minutes away. Not too bad. Let's see how many more regs are here at the gym. I see a sprinter already. And I see another van over there. Not too many. Not yet anyway. And then whatever minivans and other cars that are a little bit more stealthy, like this minivan is probably a camper as well. Okay. I got my gym bag in here with my gym pants, which I'm gonna put on before I go in. Can't see that. Toiletry bag and shower shoes, a must, very important. Don't try to use your imagination sometimes. Fast drying towel, and of course clothes to get changed in. I usually put my phone on silent, so when it's gonna be in the locker, if it rings, people don't know there's a phone in there and try to break in. Who knows? But better safe than sorry. Just partially block the window so people can't really creep in. And yeah, this fridge is bulky. I will see you when I get back. Could that be a camper van right there? That's electric. Well, all washed up and massaged. It's a good start of the day. All right, let's go back to that park and see if we can dump number one. Always feels great. Always feels great. Let's see how we're doing on power. Not bad. We're getting around 100 watts and it's only 8:30 in the morning almost, but we do have sun. We have plenty of sun. Let's get moving with the day. Restrooms are open. Let's go. I put them in a bag like this so it's less conspicuous. I don't know if it is. Water spigot and trash and recycling. All right, one more errand done. Now let's find a place to park, make some coffee, and do some work. We can find something along the way here. Oh yeah, the ocean's right there. Perfect. The other side of the highway doesn't look bad either. If it focuses. Okay, it focused. Before I do anything else, I really need to get the Starlink going because the video is done. I just need to upload it. So just gonna toss it on the roof. With the van, I've always had these hooks installed and I'm just gonna run the wire so it runs outside. Janky, but it works. I was able to upload 40% yesterday, which is not bad at this place that I was at. Either way, it's uploading right now. I can't let you see what it is until it's up. You know, it's days like these where it's almost 9:30 and I just get to make coffee now. I didn't want to make coffee before the gym because I wanted to get that massage, and coffee before massage, for me, it's not a good idea. So we're making coffee now. Let's see how we're doing with the battery. It got cloudy. It's not gonna rain, hopefully, but oh, we are 92. We're only pulling like 13 to 20, around that range. It's not bad. Finally, I get to enjoy this with a bit of a view. You know, I like to try different coffees all the time, but I've been stuck with this one because it hits all the boxes. Priced well. I usually have a Trader Joe's around me. I have 2 bags just in case. But yeah, this is it. 100% Arabica whole bean coffee, medium dark roast, Bolivian, organic, fair trade, all that stuff. But the great thing about it, it smells really good, obviously. But it's got that chocolatey taste to it, and it's dark enough. I usually like dark roast, but it's dark enough where I like it. And it's smooth the way I make it anyway. We're gonna pause this video right here and take a minute and talk about today's sponsor for this video, which is, well, me, Stefan Ghica.com. If many of you didn't know, I do have a storefront. We have a lot of merch, a lot of t-shirts, a lot of hats, coffee mugs, stickers, t-shirts, hoodies. We even have beach towels. So check that out. I really love the hoodies that we have right now. Also, there is an Amazon storefront. So if you guys are interested in any of the stuff that you see here on the channel that I use every day, including all of my electrical system, a lot of the things that I use, like coffee pots or just pots and pans, any of the gadgets that you see here on the van, even the boxes up on top of the rooftop, then you can find them on there. Even these window covers, they're all on there, so you can definitely get yourself some of that stuff. StefanGhica.com. Don't forget to go over and check it out. With that being said, let's head back to the video. Video is uploaded and ready to go. It's on a Monday. I'll check on it later. But first, I just need to take this Starlink down because I don't want to forget that it's up there and then leave and then no more Starlink for me. If you guys missed the video where I installed an AC on my roof, I needed to adjust the rails so I can fit this in the boxes. Hence why the Starlink is not mounted up there anymore, because I have the opportunity to readjust everything on the roof and then be able to put this back up there and mount it permanently. It works just fine. And I have something in mind of how I want that arranged. Keep an eye on that video because I'm just waiting for Amazon Prime so I can get a discount on the pieces that I need to get to put up there. It's kind of a week away or something, so I'll just wait on that. But now, before I make lunch, let's talk about this cooler right here. All right, so it's Bodega coolers. It's the 60 liter, which is 64 quarts, compared to my last fridge, which was 54 quarts from Costway. They're not sponsoring this video, but they have sent this fridge to me to test out and see if I like it, how I like it. It is a dual zone, so it could be a freezer and a fridge at the same time. And I have thoughts. Let us begin. Let's start with the pros, which are many. One of the pros is that on eco mode, it actually consumes half the power of what the other fridge was consuming on eco mode. So that was taking around 78 watts. This takes around 30 to 36 watts, which I'm super happy with on fridge mode. So it is a dual zone, but I have both sides on fridge. More on that later. Another pro is that it's much quieter than the other one. I've had the other fridge for 7 years, so it's kind of long in the tooth. This was definitely needed. The other fridge, the buttons on the right were not registering all the time anymore. It's kind of annoying when I would unplug it and try to empty it and all that stuff. So now I can hear it a bit at night, but it's not nearly as loud as the other one. Size, it's much bigger. It's 64 quarts as a whole. I'm happy with that. I tried to ask them to send me the 80 quart or 80 liter, but they said that wasn't part of the promotion. So this is the second biggest one that they make, I think. It also has a handle and wheels, so I can carry this much easier if I wanted to carry it somewhere with me, which I usually don't, but I do move it around the van and then the wheels do help. It also has a Bluetooth app. I just downloaded that and I'm glad that I did, because the buttons on top of the cooler, they are touch sensitive, but anytime I lean on it, it beeps. Kind of frustrating because you don't know what command you're pushing, changing settings. The app has a lock button, so I can lock it, and then it still makes the noise when I push it, but nothing happens, which is great. And last but not least, many fridges have these. It's just different configurations. I like the fact that the door opens from the side rather than the top, if that makes any sense. Like this was the fridge, it opens this way rather than this way. It would go super tall, and then if I wasn't careful, it would just come back down, and it was heavier as well, so no fun. This one's much lighter. Another pro is that it does have a USB plug next to the display panel. I wish it was USB-C, but the reason I like it is when I swivel the chair in the front, I don't really have plugs out there. Now I have some sort of plug to plug in my computer to charge while I edit, and hopefully I can have an adapter where I can plug in the USB and the USB-C of the computer, because that's all it takes, and I'll include that in the future videos if it does work. Another pro is that it's a 12 volt, 24 volt, and 110 or 120, one of those outlets, and you can make it run both ways. I was gonna say charger, but I'm not sure. It does show a battery symbol, so let me know in the comments below if that means anything, if it has an internal battery. I looked briefly to see if I can find information on it. I can't really see any. It just shows the battery is 100%, but if I were to unplug it, it turns off. So I'm not really sure why they have a battery icon on there. Maybe there's a battery. You let me know. It has a few problems, which brings me to the cons. One is the door. I like the way it opens. The latch of the door, it's not very strong. When it's closed, I feel like it's closed okay, but when it comes to opening it, the latch, you can pull from any side of the lid and it'll open. The latch just gives. I'm not sure how that's gonna translate in the long run if the door ends up just sipping air in there and not being sealed correctly. That's to see in the future. Could be something, could be nothing, but the construction's not how I would like it to be. Another con that I have is that the display doesn't turn off at night. I looked online. There's models that do that, but my model doesn't really do that. Again, if I'm doing it wrong, let me know in the comments, because I would love to be able to turn off the display. It's pretty bright at night. Sure, I'm gonna end up putting something over it, but it'd be better if I could turn it off from the factory. There is something that I can do. It has a middle divider. Once I take that out, one of the displays turns off, and you can have the same setting as a fridge. If you wonder why I'm not doing that, because being a dual zone, I would like the beverages side to be a little bit cooler, and then the food side a few degrees warmer. And now, the biggest elephant in the room. It's a pro and a con, and hear me out on this. It's a pro that it's a dual zone, so it could be a freezer and a fridge. It's a con, but now if I were to set it as a freezer on one side and fridge on the other side, the fridge side is basically cut in half. Even though it's 64 quarts, I will lose half the fridge that I would have if I keep the whole fridge running as a fridge. It's a nice option to have, and I'm still figuring it out, finding out if I can do the freezer thing, maybe in the summer. Ice cubes for a nice coffee. I don't really eat ice cream. I don't really eat meat, so I don't need to freeze many things. But there are some items at grocery stores that are in the frozen section, like veggie patties or frozen pizza. You know, that's something that I'm gonna see if I really need a freezer for, or I would just buy it that same day, use it, and not worry about it, and have a full fridge. One more con, which I was able to fix myself at the dollar store, is that being a top cooler, you still have to dig to get stuff from the bottom, and it was true with my other fridge. But I wish they came with baskets that you can stack them, and you can kind of just lift the basket, go on the bottom, get what you need. And I came up with a solution. I just went to the dollar store and got a few baskets. I measured before I went in. This, I had to cut the handle because it was kind of one of those handles like that, and it was sticking out, taking space in my fridge. I don't need that. And another basket that's thinner but has handles, and again, it's one of those things, I stack them on top, and then now I can get to the bottom very quickly. Speaking of the bottom, we have another pro. This fridge has a plug on the bottom, so rather than tilting it like the other one, which I can see being good for the fridge, if you spill something, whatever it is, once in a while these coolers need to be cleaned, and the water from the bottom needs to be drained. Even though I've had it for a week, nothing really accumulated, so we'll see how often do I need to do that. Ultimately, it does have a lot of pros. I'm very happy with it so far, but throughout my journey, I'm trying it, testing it, and then finding out if anything else goes wrong with it. But for the most part, it's new. I don't see it going bad anytime soon. For my new fridge, gotta clean up last night's dish I ate from the pan before I can cook back in the pan. And I usually use it as a sink to clean up the utensils, and then I clean it up so it soaks a bit while I clean these up. that makes any sense. Okay, I am excited. Two things that I didn't show you or you couldn't tell when I was making it. One, the seasoning that I put on top. It's basically a ton of seasoning that I have added to over the years, and then there's paprika in there, there's other type of spices in there that if I was like really low, I just added them on there, and they're all mixed up, so I couldn't tell you exactly what it is. There's all kinds of other spices. And on top are just pickled onions, homemade pickled onions. My mom made these and they're actually kind of delicious. They work well. They work well. And of course, simple. Anybody in a van can do this. One pan. If you get a bigger pan, the better. That's what I do when I make tacos anyway. While I'm here, I might as well trim my facial hair a little bit from Philips, and it's battery powered. I charge it once in a while, and it has a ton of trims, so easy peasy. Little mirror here. Got this little small broom. It's supposed to be for a desk, but it works really well because it's super fine. And now I can go in the world again. Let me just say, I'm so glad that I opted not to incorporate that burner or induction cooktop in the counter space, because I only use it a few times a day and it would just take up counter space. But now, since I put it away, I have all this counter space to work on this video actually, so I get ahead of the game. Speaking of which, check out this video here. It's whatever YouTube suggests that is good for you to watch. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, consider subscribing, do all the fun things that you like to do down below. And of course, there's all the links to all the things that I have in the van if you're interested. And I will see you in the next one. I gotta get to editing. Bye.